Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. Now why is it never a good idea to mess with the human mind?
Get off you! You blew my cover!
And with that being said, let's get on with the video.
Now, gaming has come a long way since its humble beginnings in the early 70s, with some classic games shaping the lives of gamers. This world of digital fun that gamers called home has evolved over time, with some ageless games that have gone down in history as some of the best.
A lot of the games that have come and gone over the years have been inspired by the world of science fiction. For example, the fantastic System Shock, the highly amusing Day of the Tentacle, and the legendary Halo. With this inspiration from the world of sci-fi, there were other games that were more story focused, and it's in the 90s where this spectrum of gaming truly opened up. So with that in mind, let's go back to where it all started.
Gamers of the early 90s were leaving the world of 8-bit behind and found themselves being introduced to some fantastic games such as Outrun, Earthworm Jim and Doom.
The golden era of gaming had arrived, but in the background amidst some of the greats were cinematic platformers that even now are fantastic to play.
Taking the rulebook of conventional platforming and focusing on a more realistic style of gameplay, gamers were blessed with some classic games found within this subgenre of platforming. Games such as Heart of Darkness, Another World, and the legendary Prince of Persia.
These games combine that sense of realism with some fantastic gameplay. However, there was another game that shook the world of gaming, and this just happens to be the amazing Flashback.
Flashback was the creation of Paul Gouset, who had previously worked on Future Wars, and it was from this game that the building blocks of Flashback was created, as well as taking some inspiration from the silver screen.
And some of this inspiration came from films such as Blade Runner, Aliens, and one of my favourites, Total Recall.
You are not you. You're me.
For Flashback to stand out from other platformers, developer Delphine Software felt that rotoscoping was needed, giving gamers that sense of fluidity when controlling the hero.
Of course, rotoscoping was made famous by the original Prince of Persia game.
However, Delphine Software was still looking for ways to bring that ultimate experience for gamers, and with talks of Flashback being a 3D game, the possibilities were endless. But sadly, due to hardware limitations at the time, this was dropped in favour of a 2D style of gameplay.
Eventually, the Flashback series would make that transition to the world of 3D, but more on that later. And it was in 1992 that the world of gaming was blessed with the amazing Flashback.
Yes!
And with the popularity surrounding Flashback, this fantastic game was ported to several gaming systems, including the Sega Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo.
Being set in the year 2142, Conrad B. Hart discovers that an alien race known as Morphs are behind a plot to destroy the Earth. Fearing that something bad will happen, Conrad downloads a copy of his memory into a holocube.
However, it doesn't take long for the Morphs to capture Conrad, wipe his memory, and hold him prisoner.
Somehow escaping his captors, Conrad speeds off on a stolen hoverbike before being shot down and crash landing within a jungle.
Sometime later, Conrad would wake up and the quest for identity would begin.
He said it! He said it!
Gameplay followed the same style made famous by the Prince of Persia series, and gamers find themselves exploring strange environments, as well as dealing with bizarre looking enemies.
Some of these enemies were the Morph aliens, as well as robotic death machines out for blood.
and like other platformers at the time, certain risks would provide a reward. However, on the other side of that spectrum was certain death.
Such as the fragility of the human body, everything is out to take down Conrad, including unforeseen dangers.
The graphical style of Flashback set it apart from other platformers, and with the combination of decent gameplay as well as a high difficulty spike, Flashback became an instant classic for every system it found itself on.
Now, I remember when Flashback was released, gamers were blown away by the graphics, and as for those cutscenes, one word in particular that I remember is wow.
Wow.
Flashback was such a hit with gamers that the world of gaming was left wanting more, but luckily in 1995, Faded Black was released, which continued the adventure of Conrad set 50 years into the future.
This time, however, the style of gameplay was now in the fantastic world of 3D, with gamers controlling Conrad in a whole new adventure.
Faded Black was a bit of a hit and miss with gamers. While loved some of the high difficulty, some preferred the original Flashback, but either way, gamers should have both these games in their collection.
You're goddamn right.
Now, I know some of you guys at home absolutely love the game Another World, which will have its own video in the future, but it does make me wonder, does Flashback and Another World appear within the same universe, so close yet light years apart?
With the Flashback series cementing itself within gaming history, there were talks of a third instalment, but sadly this was cancelled. But it wouldn't be until 2013 where Flashback found itself being rebooted.
This reboot didn't quite capture the same charm as the original.
Overall, Flashback is one of those games that will make gamers return to time and time again. Hopefully in time, Conrad will return to the world of gaming, with an all-new adventure within space, possibly finding himself on the planet from another world, or perhaps meeting that unnamed hero from future wars. Either way, while the world of gaming awaits the triumphant return of Conrad V. Hart, gamers can't go wrong with a classic Flashback in the meantime. Although just be aware that the morph aliens can disguise themselves as anything.
Anyway, come back next time where vault hunters head towards the planet of Pandora searching for treasure, but what secrets lay within. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.